All right, I'm meteorologist Vin Crosby from the Weather Show at Vin Crosby. A pretty good snowstorm coming to some of our areas in the Northwest and just mesmerizing snows down around the Sierra Nevada in California. What about the Treasure Valley? We'll get to that too coming up. A lot of wind, not a whole lot of snow. We'll see some rain, but the mountains of Idaho and Oregon are going to get crushed. Watch out traveling Interstate 84 as well, back to the Northwest. Big time snows coming overnight tonight, so you'll run into some hazardous travel between Ontario going up before Pendleton. Right in that stretch there, things could get very, very hairy. Let's go and take a look at the maps. Going to have some fun here. Just kind of go and wing it as we produce this weather forecast for you. Here is the big area low pressure. You can see the storm is ginormous and the clouds coming on through. A couple areas of a spin right in through here, and a couple areas of spin back in here. The overall flow kind of going like this, and then the jet stream just cutting it up right on in through there. So that's what we're seeing with this storm system. We're seeing an overall cutoff area low pressure that's off the Pacific coast that's going to keep just sending moisture on into the cold air. Lots of moisture on into the cold air, and down in the lower levels, it'll be rain. But check out this stretch of clouds here. You can see the jet kind of doing its fanning thing. See these clouds just kind of fanning out there? That's a good area of what we call diffluence in the atmosphere. That means it's fanning out above, really strengthening things down below, and we're seeing that just devastate areas of Northern California and southwestern areas of Oregon even as we speak. Mudslides all over the place already. There'll be more during the day tomorrow as well. As we go and take a look and clear this off here and go take a look at a couple of more areas, let's go and let's do this one here. And so what I'm looking at here is basically a map of the Northwest. And you can see a lot of these observation points on it. And notice the temperatures here in southern areas down around Medford, Oregon. They're just going to get hammered with snow. Lots of high winds. Look at this wind gust right here in the middle of the screen. That's 73 knots. How high is that mountain? That's up around 4,900 feet or so. Squaw Peak. Screaming winds up through there. So this powerful storm system really devastating a lot of areas back into California already. All right, so I just wanted to show you the winds there. Check out Burns and the Hines area back on over towards the Blues here as we get up towards Pendleton. You can see there's just a lot of southeast winds coming on through. Winds go counterclockwise around that area low pressure, and that's why we're seeing all that wind energy come on through. But I want to show you the snow totals for our area and kind of take you through it overnight tonight. And so what I'm going to paint on here is the forecast from the National Weather Service forecast site. They do what's called a blend model, and this is their model, and I think it's on chart right now, on track rather right now as we go on in over the next 6 hours or so. So these are 6-hour increments of snow, and as we go into around 11 o'clock tonight, we'll start to see some snow accumulations on the ground just west of John Day. What's this site out here? This is out at Brogan Hill, and then over here we've got Kelsey Butte, so it gives you a little idea of where we are at. There's Ontario, Payette, and then Vail back through here. And then currently, it was around 8 o'clock I'm taping this. It's around, winds from the southeast, 35, 37 degrees. The temperature is going to be kept up tonight, so not looking for a lot of slick conditions in the Treasure Valley at all. And we should see, if any, snow change over to rain very quickly tomorrow. But up in the higher elevations, there will be snow. So overnight tonight, as we go back out here to the west, just north of Burns, that's around 3 inches of snow going into 11 o'clock tonight. And then you can see some snows generally in that 2 to 3 inch range coming on through the Burns area. This right here, that leading edge is just about a trace of snow, so 1/10 of an inch of snow. But watch what happens as I go in here for a closer look, just for the Treasure Valley, just for your sake, overnight tonight. As we go through 5 a.m. tomorrow morning, we do get some light snow totals coming on in here. It'll be the kind of wet snow sticking on the grass. Still think the roads will be just fine. But notice maybe a dusting to an inch kind of thing, about 0.15 inches. Very little, if any, snow in the Treasure Valley. But by 5 a.m. up around Bogus Basin, we're going to be looking right at around 3 inches or so, 2.5, 2.9. Many of these totals coming in 3.5 inches. So between 2 and 4 inches of snow up there in the snow stick. If you want to go up skiing to Bogus tomorrow, boy, what a day it'll be. Should be some nice fresh powder there. And then as I pull this back here by 5 o'clock in the morning on your Wednesday, notice this area here, north of Ontario, going back up between Pendleton. These colors here, if I click in, you can see that snow total is 2.5 inches of snow. That's a pretty good amount of snow coming over Interstate 84. And then in the darker shade of orange, now we're looking at about 3.6 inches of snow. So a tremendous amount of snowfall coming down in a short amount of time over the next 6 hours. So this is the area where those winter storm warnings are posted. And you can see right along Interstate 84, around 2 to 5 inches of snow, a lot of high winds too. So low visibilities when you travel through here. But notice up in the higher elevations, over 5 inches of snow. Again, this is overnight tonight into about 5 o'clock in the morning. Up around say 5,000 feet or so, looking over 6 inches of snow, and those darker shades of red, and then the purple down here is about 7 inches of snow. So tremendous amount of snows coming down in the higher elevations as you head between Ontario, Oregon, on up in towards Baker City. That's where the trouble spots will be. Down around Baker City, just a little bit of snow, again, like a dusting to an inch, maybe a little bit over an inch in some of the spots as you go up into higher elevations. Traveling up towards La Grande, you can see there's some lighter snows expected there, but this stretch right in through there, that's where your thickest snow totals will be overnight tonight through tomorrow morning. Back up over here into McCall area by Cascade. We are looking for snow totals up around Long Valley. Let's see if I can get on up into Gem County there. There it is. There's Cascade Reservoir. And now you can see the snow totals through Banks getting on up towards Smiths Ferry. By tomorrow morning, 5 a.m., about 2 to 5 inches of snow coming on down, and it should be really starting to intensify at this time. And then as I kind of pull back a little bit, now you can see the band of snow and how it's going to really encompass much of the Gem State between 5 a.m. and 11 a.m. This much snow will come on down. That band of snow moves towards the north and the east, and now we see up around Haley, the Sun Valley area, back over towards Fairfield. That's when we're going to start to see the tremendous snows coming down into the Danskin Mountains. Anywhere from 5 to 10 inches of snow coming down in those higher elevations. And then as you go down here by Mountain Home and go up in elevations, you can see traveling from Mountain Home along 20, going over to Fairfield, the Camas Prairie. Check this out. 5 inches of snow. So tremendous amount of snow coming down in a short amount of time. This is from now until about 11 a.m. going in towards Wednesday morning. Back up to the north, if you want to hit some good fresh snows, it looks like the snow will lift a little bit north and get in towards McCall and right around Tamarack. So if you're heading on up the Tamarack area, looking around maybe between 4 and 8 inches of snow going in towards 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. Brundage, same amount of snow coming on down. Yep, in that 4 to 8 inch range. So looking pretty good for a good snowstorm back up in towards the west central mountains. Again, winter storm warnings are posted on up through this area, between 5 and 10 inches of snow up there in some of the higher peaks. And then as we move along here and go back down to the south, not a whole lot going on. By 11 o'clock in the morning, you can see the Treasure Valley high and dry, maybe a little dusting to an inch in some areas around Eagle, but by this time we should see some rain starting to fall in the Treasure Valley. Back across much of, check this out, by 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. This is where it's going to be fun, folks, if you like snow. Just tremendous amounts of snow coming on down here in the California area. So by 11 o'clock tomorrow morning, some of the higher peaks will have close to 20 inches of snow on the ground in the Sierra Nevada mountains up around Lake Tahoe. So that's just a tremendous amount there coming on down. I do have a computer forecast model that kind of points out that there. Now watch as I put this into motion. You can see how the snow totals kind of accumulate there. Let me, yeah, now I can get that snow gauge in there at the bottom. There it is. So at the bottom of the screen, you can see anywhere in that orange to purple, you're looking between 10 and 24 inches of snow. And then when you get into the white, that's over 38 inches of snow. And you can see many areas of white in Northern California and around the Sierra Nevada mountains. Matter of fact, let me go and just increase it here and go all the way down to the end. And now you can see that band of heavy snows coming up through there. And then back up in Idaho, obviously you can see there's a close-up of the California mountains. And then here as well, we can also take a look and see where those snow are going to be. Pretty much on over from the mountain regions of central and eastern Idaho back into the west central mountains over in eastern areas of Oregon. Tremendous amounts of snow coming on down, but nothing like they're going to get in Northern California around the Sierra Nevada mountains. And all the rain and all the flooding and mudslides going to be treacherous there. Hey, speaking of that, remember that the best time for avalanches, backcountry skiers, 24 hours, within 24 hours of that fresh snow, tremendous avalanche dangers are possible. So if you're going up there doing some snowmobiling, snowshoeing, just watch out. Fresh snow with the uneven temperatures, prime conditions for avalanche danger, especially back up around the west central mountains, up and around Brundage, up and around Tamarack. Just watch out for that in the steep terrain areas in the backcountry. Back over towards Sun Valley, boy, what a time to be out at Baldy tomorrow, hitting that just fresh snow coming down all day. Should be some nice soft powder coming on in through that area. So let's get back to our forecast and keep painting that picture of just how much snow is going to come on down here in towards the Gem State as I come in for a little closer look. Now we can take a look and see from 11 o'clock to 5 p.m. in the afternoon, you can see most of the activity will be tapering off and pushing towards the north and northeast. And so by this time, we should see maybe even dry conditions, but scattered showers at best as the band of clouds and move towards the north as this big system kind of pinwheels into the northwest. That's what we'll look at, that band of cloud cover kind of doing its thing there. But another 6 hours of snow on top of that. So we get another inch or two back up around McCall and up around Brundage, another 4 inches. So Brundage Mountain could come well over a foot of snow during the day tomorrow with this storm system, maybe even teetering on 15 inches of snow by its end of the snow pattern, end of the day. And then same for those higher elevations up there by Baker City. Over towards Sun Valley, another little bullseye of red coming on through, about 5.5 inches of snow. Boy, what a great snowstorm for Idaho Mountains. So this is what I was talking about earlier in the season with my El Nino winter weather outlook. So there you have it, a very active weather pattern for the Northwest. Tremendous amount of rain and mudslides along the immediate coastal areas of California and Oregon. Snows on the order of 2 to 3, 4 feet up in the Sierra Nevada mountains, and winter storm warnings are up for most of the west central mountains of Idaho, and back into the Boise Mountains we'll see winter weather advisories up in sections. All of Oregon underneath winter storm warnings, at least for the eastern half of the state, overnight tonight into the midday hours of the day. Tremendous amount of snow coming down in a short amount of time. The heaviest snows will be between Ontario, Oregon, going on up to Baker City in that stretch of I-84. So Interstate 84, real hazardous. US 95, 55, not fun. 20 will be shut down city with heavy snows and blowing snows during the day tomorrow on the Camas Prairie. Interstate 5 will be shut down city in some spots too, especially up on the higher passes with tremendous snows, 1 to 3 feet in some spots coming down overnight tonight alone, going in towards the early morning hours and mid-morning hours of tomorrow. So that's the way things are shaping up. Very windy conditions in the Treasure Valley, maybe some blowing snow around in the morning, but west end of the valley, back out towards Ontario, Western Canyon County, up towards Weiser could get around a couple of inches. Those areas there, That's where the best chances for accumulating snows will be, in the higher elevations, maybe going around Freeze Out Hill, up towards my friends in Emmett, back over towards Baker City, and those areas back towards, as we go on up in towards Horseshoe Bend, and then head north up into McCall around Smiths Ferry. Very slippery roads along interstate, not interstate, but US 55, Highway 55. Watch out for that during the day tomorrow. So be safe. Lots of wind, lots of cold air, just kind of rainy and windy, and maybe some snow briefly in the morning, but it'll be briefly changing over to rain. And don't be surprised to see the snow levels rise too up in the higher elevations as this system kind of presses on in. We could see we could get a little bit of rain snow mix down, say around the 5,000 foot level as that rain snow line moves on up into the higher elevations during the afternoon. Lots of wind though, so chairlifts could be shut down just due to wind alone with this system, especially up around Bogus Basin. Watch out for those dangerous conditions in the avalanche zones as well. All right, so that's all I have for you tonight. Thanks for tuning in to the Weather Show with Vin Crosby. Be sure to check out my forecast for the weekend. I issue it Fridays. It's pretty much on Indian Rider Radio, the podcast with Curtis Sawyer. Check that out. Friday afternoons, he usually has this podcast up, and you can catch my national forecast for the whole country. I break it down in 3 parts, but we do Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and give you a weather forecast for the whole country. I mean, that's great. Plus, you get a great interview with Curtis and the guys there on Indian Rider Radio. That is the Weather Show with Vin Crosby. Thanks for subscribing, and please tell your friends and family to do the same.